What's up, and welcome to this edition of Viking Vibes, the St. Joseph by the Sea High School experience, an exclusive podcast and web series dedicated to all things St. Joseph by the Sea High School. Today, we are joined by two guests, two key players in the St. Joseph by the Sea family. We have Miss Lauren Prospero, the Director of Guidance over at St. Joe's, and Miss Alexis Petrozelli, the Director of College Placement. So guys, how are you?
We're good, Ann. How are you?
Thank you for having us today.
Thank you for being here. So as this is something unique to St. Joe's, it's the only high school in the region doing this. There's a unique partnership with the Advance as well. We're here in SI Live Studios. And basically the intention of the podcast and the video series is to just give people on the outside an inside look at what goes on day to day that we can't always explain and describe. So we try and bring in experts, bring in some faculty, bring in some sports people. We've had some great guests. So we're looking forward to talking a little bit today about college placement, college advisement, and really how you guys in your department hold the hand of students from the day they enter school all the way until you usher them out into some of the most prestigious colleges and universities in the nation. Before we talk about that, let's hear a little bit about your background. So Alexis, tell us, I know you're a C grad, proud C grad.
I am a C alumni, class of 2001.
Which is the best class. Why?
Absolutely,
we both
graduated together. Yeah,
that's why it's the best class in C history.
Yep.
But talk a little bit more about your background.
Okay, so I'm born and raised in Staten Island. Went to college at St. John's, of course, after I graduated from St. Joseph by the Sea.
Natural progression.
Best high school. And I went to college at St. John's on Staten Island. I personally didn't have a desire to go away, so I was just happy staying local. Went there, got my bachelor's in communications. Started working in the field a little bit, public relations. I saw that it wasn't for me, and I then went back to school again at St. John's and received my master's in education. So at that point, I really didn't necessarily want to be a classroom teacher, so I just took a job at St. John's working in the college admissions office. Basically, my job was to travel to different high schools and talk about St. John's, our programs, review applications, things of that nature. After doing that for a while, I wanted a change, and an opening came at St. Joseph by the Sea, and Father Riley reached out, and he said, "Are you interested?" And I said, "Yeah, sure, let's give it a try," and here I am, 13 years later.
That's perfect. So just to highlight something you said in case someone missed it, didn't hear it or see it, you were actually on the other side of the fence.
Yes.
Meaning that exactly what people in the opposite position who are actually looking to recruit kids are looking for.
Yes.
So that must be a vital component of what you're doing day to
Yeah,
day.
it definitely gives me an insight as to what the schools are looking for and how they're looking at the students' applications, what actually really matters, what kind of doesn't really matter that much. So it's definitely good experience to be on the other side of the table for sure.
Cool. We're going to come back and bother you in a second. But Lauren, let's get in there. What do we got? Tell us a little bit about your background.
I was born and raised in Staten Island also. I went to St. John's University for college.
St. John's.
Yes, it's a great school. My undergraduate degree was in secondary education with a concentration in English, so I can technically be an English teacher.
Nice.
I wouldn't advertise that if I were you.
I know, I shouldn't. I went on to my master's degree in school counseling at St. John's University. During graduate school, I worked 2 years in the student life office there.
Nice.
So that was a really exciting and fun job. After I graduated, I worked in the college admissions office also at St. John's University alongside
Seems like a trend over there.
Alexis. So we did work together before we came to see. I worked there for a year, so I have a lot of experience traveling and going and recruiting, reading applications, seeing what's important also. And then this opening came for St. Joseph by the Sea, which I immediately jumped on, and I have been here ever since.
And how many years have you been, Alexis?
We are in
Season 13? Both of you?
Yes, we
Both
started
of you
together.
Season 13? That's awesome, season 13. I just want to point out something that's funny. Everyone who's been on this podcast all has masters, all had, I'm the dumbest guy on the show. So I think it's funny to point that out. But,
No, but I think you are one of the smartest.
I agree.
oh, that's too nice. But I don't have any cool letters.
So what? You
Nothing
went to
that's funny.
NYU. I think that counts for something.
Day one, students come in and freshmen, and a lot of high schools talk about what they do and their programs, their preparation. But at C, I know firsthand that literally from the moment a freshman walks in the door, you guys are already getting them involved, discussing, programming, and doing things to set them up for their big day when they're going to be applying to colleges. So whichever wants to jump in first, just talk about the beginning, the freshman year. What are kids going through? What are they experiencing? And how are you guys hands-on with them?
I know it's a big transition. A lot of these students are coming from even some of the smaller grammar schools. We are one of the larger Catholic high schools on the island. So it definitely, I think it's a shock a little bit at first because some of these kids are coming from grammar schools that have one class per grade, two classes per grade.
Bless SS.
Hey.
40, 50 kids.
And we have a mix. We have a good mix. But I think even our public school students, it's still a smaller public school setting. So I think that could be a little bit overwhelming at first. So we recognize that, and we definitely want them to acclimate and feel comfortable. So we reach out right from the beginning of getting involved, meeting with their counselors, and just welcoming them. That's also part of our Senior Brother, Senior Sister program. We have seniors who volunteer their time, and they're in the homerooms with the students, and they're really making them comfortable learning our programs, learning Canvas, which is a change for a lot of students.
Sure.
If they're not involved already with our prep program, it's definitely a transition for them, but we again hit the ground running, really wanting to make them feel comfortable and part of the Viking family. So we do that with partnerships with our guidance department, partnerships with our senior brothers and senior sisters, and we start giving them assignments right away also, to not necessarily written assignments, but just to start.
Yeah, we're not talking homework. We're talking
No,
more guidance and putting them on the right path.
Just, kind of figuring them, showing them getting involved, joining a club. We really advocate for that because we think it's, C is a big enough school where I feel like there's like kind of a spot for everybody.
Right.
You could be your sports kids, you can be your science kids. We have the archery. There's so many different avenues. There's the theater clubs, WSJS TV studio. So I think there really is a spot for everybody. So I think it's just about helping them find their niche, which we and the rest of our guidance department walk them through and make sure they know what's available. So just to welcome them.
We always say that the freshman year lays the groundwork for the rest of the year. So
Right.
It's important that we right away tell the students how important their grades are, that they should do well. We help them with study skills. We want to make sure that, as Alexa said, they get involved in everything and anything, try new things. And that not only allows them to have a great high school career, but it sets the framework for applying to college in their senior year. They have good grades already. They've been involved. They've had a great 4 years, and now they're ready to move on to the next phase of their life.
And also, I think is important because when we were there, we didn't have this, or if we
No.
did, I don't know. Being a freshman and just even thinking that way, rather than being a sophomore or junior, or in some cases a senior, and then all of a sudden it's, I got to go meet my counselor, or I got to prep for college, or
Yeah, well,
you're almost a day late and a dollar short.
Just to interject there, we found when we arrived that it was just like, it just matters what we do in junior year. And having been on the other side, we're like, no, it actually starts freshman year. So
Right.
we have parent meetings for each grade level, and we do an overview of the year. So no, it doesn't only matter what you do junior year. Freshman year really matters. And we try and instill in the students, if you don't do well academically, it's hard mathematically to get that GPA up. So you
Right.
really want to hit the ground running. Again, not everyone's going to be a 99 student, but you have to know that you need to put the work in. You need to develop, again, the study skills. So that's really important for our kids, that we want them to know right from the get-go that, we don't expect you to apply to college as a freshman, but start figuring out, hey, I'm really good at math, or I'm really interested in sports in a way. Maybe I could be a physical therapist, something along those lines. You really have to start identifying your strengths and your weaknesses and where you want to potentially go from there. So it's just building awareness for them.
Yeah, just planting the seed in and of itself
Exactly.
is good
Yeah.
enough, because like I
Introducing
said,
the
when we were there,
topics.
no one planted anything. Not that it was bad,
No,
but
yeah.
we weren't thinking of college and
It
freshman
was a
year.
very different
Right.
time, and that's also why we have our college fair so early in October.
That's something I want to talk about. So
Yeah.
now you're going to be modest, but I've been there and seen how you guys operate and how you do this. So you guys put on this college fair, and now you do it twice a year, and it is attended, and if I exaggerate, correct me, but it is attended by a minimum of 50 to 60 colleges or more.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's at a minimum,
Minimum.
50 or 60 colleges that are coming to the campus of St. Joe's, that are spending their time at tables with collateral, with brochures, with informational packets, exclusively to see kids.
Yeah.
But now that in and of itself is phenomenal. So talk about how you guys got that idea, how you put it together, and what it's done since you implemented that for the students.
Yeah, so when we arrived, there was only one fair. It was a night fair, and we built on that and expanded it. I don't believe as many colleges had attended at the time.
I could say there definitely was not that many colleges.
So we still have that, but now usually our night fair is about, I would say, 80 colleges.
Yeah, we're
That's
close to 80.
usually
80 colleges. All right, so I was wrong. I said a minimum of 60. So
Yeah. So it's great. And they come from locally, they come from across the country. We have schools coming from all over the place. So that's really great. And then we implemented a day fair. So that's for students only during the school day. So the night fair is welcome to the families to
Parents, et
attend.
cetera, right.
Exactly. The day fair, we even have about 60, 70 colleges come. And that's solely
Yeah.
for the students to gather information. And we have that at a different time of the year. So we'll have that in the spring and the night fair in the fall. So the students get 2 different times to really gather information and learn about programs, any updates, changes to the colleges. So we've been really proud of that.
On a business standpoint, right, I could say that we all know in the room why the colleges are coming, right? Because C has a certain quality kid and a brand of a kid that all these schools want. So that we get, and they're happy to get their leads, right? But talk about what it does for the students inside, because again, they didn't have access to this until you guys came in and took the reins. Do you have an example of, say, someone who was a sophomore that then was a senior or a junior that then came to you and said, wow, I can't believe we didn't have this last year, or wow, meeting school X really changed my opinion? Because it had to do great things for a lot of these kids.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, I mean, listen, we didn't invent the college fair. Let's just say that.
I was trying to give you credit for that.
No. But because again, we've been on the other side, that was us. We were the ones going to the fair as the college rep. So we saw like what worked, what didn't work, and we made some tweaks and changes, and we made it a larger event than normal. We never turned any schools away. We welcome them. Again, we're trying to find a niche for everybody. So a school for everybody to make sure that our kids have very high acceptance rates and a high percentage of them do attend 4-year college after. So, I mean, I think the kids appreciate, again, the 2 opportunities as well to attend throughout the year. So they'll always come back and be like, oh, thank you. You know, I was able to talk to these amount of colleges. And something else we've been doing also is called Strive Scan. So when we do that, the kids just scan a barcode and the colleges all get their information. So they don't have to sit there and fill out the inquiry cards. Yeah. So it just speeds the process up.
Much easier.
Part of the college program, too, is prepping the kids to know what questions to ask, what to look for in a college, really hit the mark on what they need to know.
Everybody wants to go to Miami, right? Everybody's, I'll go to Miami.
That's the hot spot now, yeah. We definitely see trends from year to
Right.
year, and definitely Florida schools spiked in the last year or two.
But we do get really great feedback from the college representatives saying that our students come in and they know what questions they ask. They're very confident. They sit there and really have wonderful conversations with them. So we are very proud of that because we definitely see a difference year to year when they do attend the fairs, how much they mature, how they listen.
And they take it a little more seriously, right? Then they realize, like, all right, now I really got to focus. I really got to pay attention.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah, absolutely. But the colleges always praise our students and always say they asked great questions. They were so polite. They were well mannered. Like they really enjoy meeting with our kids. So that's like a testament to our students.
Absolutely.
Explain to me instant decision. Now, is that something unique to see, or is that something that a lot of high schools do, or describe how you guys do it?
Okay, so it's not unique to see. I think what's unique to us is how we do it.
Okay.
Because when we first started, again, we were admissions counselors ourselves. So we've participated in these things called instant decision days. So there's questions, what is this? We basically have the colleges come in, they meet with our kids, and they give them an admissions decision right on the spot.
Which is cool. That's why I didn't know if it was something only C did.
No, what we do that is unique is we started doing it, and we had one school come one day, one school come another day, and it was just becoming this like consuming monster in the room. And we're like, we see the benefits of it, but we don't want it to take up so much of the kids' time, our time. So what we did is we call them the super instant decision days. So now we have 8 schools come on one day. So it's like the kids can sit down, they can, if they want, or as little as they want, and they can literally sit down with 8 different colleges one day and come home with 8 acceptance letters.
That's really cool.
It's really exciting. The students love it. As soon as our first year, we implemented it into our program.
Yeah, really cool.
Since then.
And another bonus about that too is that when the colleges participate, these are colleges that we have like good working relationship with. They waive the application fees for our kids. Wow. So it's a free day.
$500-$600, right?
Yeah,
Was that?
absolutely.
I don't remember what it was when we did it, but it wasn't
They're
cheap.
like $75 a piece now.
I thought they were more than
They
that.
can go
All right,
up.
that's
Yeah,
not bad.
yeah.
I don't know,
50, like 50 to 75, depending on the
Not
school.
terrible. All right, so that's the back end and the big event stuff. Now let's talk about how the other processes and programs at Sea all kind of work together to get these kids over the finish line into college. So talk about, we had Dr. G here. We were lucky we had her here. And she was talking all about the Institute for Scientific Research and these other specialized programs. So talk about how those programs play into the overall application for one of these kids or students when they're applying to colleges and what that's doing for them as far as separating them from the pack.
As you mentioned, Dr. G is here. I think what helps set our kids apart is, first of all, the rigor of the curriculum. We offer now several AP courses. Now we're going to pre-AP courses, which our curriculum will be. We have a ton of college dual enrollment credits. When a college admissions advisor looks at their transcripts, they see, okay, the school's no joke.
Right.
They're not taking filler classes, let's just say that. They're taking really classes dedicated to their academics. So I think they very much appreciate that. Also, other schools do that as well, but I think also what helps set us apart are those internship opportunities. Like, you have Dr. G's scientific research program. Kids are getting published in scientific journals.
Yeah, which is cool. She was telling us about that. It's wild.
Yeah, like kids, students in high school, college don't get those opportunities
access to that.
necessarily. So at the high school level, to be able to do that, our Bloomberg program.
Finance lab.
I had actually an alumni who was one of my favorite students. She's in the finance world now. She came up to me. I saw her at like a mutual friends, I think it was like a party or whatever. She came up to me and she was like, I just want to tell you something. I am blown away by that Bloomberg program. I work in finance. I forgot the company she worked for. And we only get that after a certain point in our
Career, right.
Yeah, we don't just get to just work on that. She's like, the fact that they have so many and the students are able to access that, that is like a game changer. Yes. She was super, super impressed.
Yeah, it's a very cool thing. And now talk a little bit about college credits. So I know that's a gray area because it's not exactly your specialty, and I get it. But what is the maximum number of credits kids can get now? Is it 60, 62?
About 60 credits, yeah.
So that means anybody in St. Joe's, as long as they sign the paper that says they want to opt into the class and they qualify, can get up to 60 college credits.
The maximum, I believe, is our honor students.
And they're 60.
Yes.
Which is 3 years.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is wild. And we've had
2 years. I'm sorry, 2 years worth of college.
Is it 2? I'm sorry,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
right. 2 years worth of college, but still. So you can graduate C and enter college as a junior.
It's incredible. Our
Which is
students,
amazing.
some of them have entered as juniors, others have entered as freshmen and just taken less courses and
'Cause they
still
can kinda
graduated after
choose
4
then
years.
what they wanna do.
Exactly.
Which makes sense.
Or added, maybe taken like a second major. So then they were able
Or
to
if you
fill those
got an
classes.
athletic kid or athletic female who wants to do something and focus on the sport and not as much on books, that makes it definitely
Right.
helps.
They have a lot of different opportunities.
And flexibility of how they can apply those credits.
Yeah, exactly. And again, it depends on the school that you're attending, but sometimes you could either use it as an elective if it's not going to be fit into it's not going to be the course that you took it as. It can be put as an elective. Maybe you just have a lighter course load.
Right.
Somebody that's like really science specific and they have a lot of labs, so instead of taking 15 credits, they'll be taking 12. So it lightens the load. Or we've had kids that went in as one major and changed their major and stayed at the same school.
And we're able to stay, yeah.
And instead of having to like start from scratch because of maybe the credits they're not applying, they're like, oh, I had the credits from St. Joe's, so I'm just like even now. So there's so many benefits, and plus the cost.
I was going to say, mom and dad, there are kids that are paying for it, but 90% of the time it's mom and dad footing the bill.
Absolutely,
So
yeah.
mom and dad saving money, not having to pay for a full year of what you would know better than I do. What's a full year's worth of college now? Minimum. 40?
Depends, 40.
Yeah,
I'm saying
probably
that's
about
like
40. Minimum,
base.
yeah.
Not
Something
a
like that,
junior
yeah.
or senior, private
Yeah.
college.
The one you mentioned before you is like in the 80 range now.
Wow.
80,000, yeah.
Because everybody wants to go, right?
Yeah.
Supply and demand.
Why
Easy.
wouldn't you want
Right.
to go?
I might go down there myself. So you have the integrated college program that's a part of everything that the kids are doing at sea from day one. Talk a little bit about the stressful year, which I'm going to say is not senior year, right? It's junior year. Isn't junior year the stressful year or no?
I don't
Correct
think
me.
any year is stressful after
Well,
the
for the
program
student.
we've implemented
For
for
the
the
student.
students. Yeah.
Right. Okay, so tell me.
So in their junior and senior year when we came, I felt was probably the most stressful for them because it's the research
Because that's the time,
of the
right?
colleges, right? You're preparing, you're taking an SAT, which is a standardized test, an entrance exam. But we have the students in junior year take a semester-long college advisement course.
Okay.
Every student is enrolled in the course in the first semester or the second semester, and that course lays the foundation for everything they need for senior year. We research colleges with them. We research careers with them.
Embedded in the curriculum, right? Just so
Embedded
we're
in
clear.
the
Everyone
curriculum.
watching and listening
Yes,
understands that. This is
yes.
not a at lunch go visit you. This is
No.
embedded in their curriculum.
This is a course that every student takes, and they, in the classroom with the junior counselor, will research colleges, careers, majors. They will start an application. They'll create the application, fill it out with the
Just
counselor.
learning how to do that is difficult, right? I remember we did it.
Yes.
No one taught us how to do it. We just kind of like flew by
On
the seat of
your
our
own.
pants.
We still
yeah.
did it on paper and pencil.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well, we're old.
We are.
We could say that.
We are old.
But they do everything with them. They go over scholarships, the financial aid process, interview preparation. They create a resume. They do the college essay introduction in the course. So everything that's needed for senior year is done by the time they finish their junior year.
And I'm glad you said that because you sparked something in my mind. So that's getting the kids prepped, right? But what about mom and dad? I know you guys have something every year for parents or guardians to attend, and now it's optional, but you're also cluing them in on what's going on and what they should be doing. So talk about sort of those events and what they look like and what they're for.
So actually, just last night, we had our senior parent night and our junior parent night that we're running at the same time in different locations. So basically, we just give them an overview of the year. So at our night, we spoke about the college application process, deadlines, what to abide by. And then we also had a guest speaker from Wagner College, who's actually also a C alum.
Who?
Jim Plunkett. He's class
remember.
of, I think he said 86, but I have to confirm that with him. He is the Assistant Vice President of Enrollment at Wagner.
Very cool.
So he came, volunteered, very nice, gave a great presentation on the FAFSA form. So there was like a lot of changes this year to it. So he felt
I thought they got rid of that. I remember that. That's still a thing?
Yeah.
Why don't we revolutionize that?
gone.
Why don't
They
we just do
should.
something with that?
They should. But they're making some changes this year, so it was really important. We felt that he was there to.
Yeah,
kinda
and
go over
I
that.
wanted to point that out because again, we're giving parents and students every opportunity available to ensure their success. So it's not like when we went where it was like I would go home and be like, yeah, I think I got to apply to college or something. And my father would be like, oh yeah, okay.
Write me a check.
Write me a check. Right? In other words, now you're engaging the parents so the parents know what's going on. The students, it's actually embedded in their curriculum to prepare them for the next steps. So I feel like that's a huge change just in the way day-to-day business is done by the way things are going at St. Joe's. So it's interesting you said the word scholarship, Lauren, because I know that this year at Sea has been a banner year. I think it's a record-breaking year, if I'm not mistaken, as far as the amount of college scholarship money that the class garnered. So talk a little bit about that and what were those numbers?
Yes, it is a record-breaking year. The class of 2023 earned $89 million in college scholarship money.
That's wild.
Yes.
That's an amazing thing. Just
Very
even say
proud
that
of
out
them.
loud.
Amazing, yeah. And just to be clear, that is not athletic money. That is not financial aid. That is pure academic money that our students earn for their grades.
That's wild. And in addition to earning all of that money, talk about some of the hallmark schools that they've been accepted to, colleges and universities across the country.
We've had recent acceptances to University of Notre Dame, Cornell,
Columbia,
Villanova.
Binghamton, yes,
Big.
University of Miami.
Big names. So we had two that are actually going to be attending Notre Dame. We had Miss Christina Mulia here as one of our highlights for our students. And we also had Matthew Sarcosta, who were both here on the show and they were great and they're looking forward to it. Right now it's September, so they're probably already in and done.
Yeah.
Very excited about it. To be clear, because you did make a point to say non-athletic and 89 million is a huge number. I think the per capita was 230,000 a student because roughly how many graduates were there in the class this year?
317.
230,000 a kid. And again, not that they're going to use it because we don't want to sound like we're just
Right.
throwing numbers around here.
Exactly. We're aware that they're not using all of that money, but the point is it's an option for them.
Right. And they did receive it.
Right.
Yes,
They
they did.
earned
They earned it.
those scholarships.
And it's something that makes the kids proud. I know when we print that scholarship booklet and the parents are looking at it, it's something that I don't know if other high schools do it because, again, I don't have an affiliation with any other high school. So what they're doing, I'm not sure of. But I know at least at C, when people see it, and even the students, when they see it, it's something that if it's printed, they hold on to it and they say, wow, I did something. I
Yeah, it's
remember
definitely a
Look
huge
what I've done.
accomplishment for them.
I had a washing machine box. My father kept all those things. That's what I had. And then finally I threw them all away. But that's what I had. We didn't have a scholarship booklet. We just had a letter that said, your kid did all right. Yeah,
Right.
have this. You know what I mean? That's what we had. But how does it make you feel when they publish that scholarship book every year that says those huge numbers on the back?
We are so excited for the students because, again, and just to put this out there, we know that they don't use all of that money
Of course.
because that's sometimes a little bit of a misconception. We're aware of that. But our point is the option is there for them.
Right.
They
They
have
earned that
options.
money.
They've earned that money. And just, I want to make it clear too, that is not athletic money. That is not financially. That is pure academic
Right.
money that
Which
they
is
were
amazing.
given.
Yes.
Right.
So that is not a loan. They don't have to pay that back. That is money that they earned based on their grades. And I think it's, again, a testament to show how hard our kids work because that's, I feel like, see, so hard. It's so hard. Look at the fruits of your labor, basically.
Right. The results.
Yeah.
But that is a good point to make, that everyone's aware that not everybody's using it, right? Because you're throwing around numbers like $83 million. But obviously, if I got $100,000 to 3 different schools, but I'm not going to go to all 3 schools. But
course,
it's just the
yeah.
aggregate,
Yeah.
and that's but that's an
Absolutely.
important number to,
But
to
still,
say.
you have a choice now.
You can pick and choose what you want to do.
Exactly. You're not like, oh, this is the only school I got money
Right.
to, so I got to go there because
Right.
my parents aren't going to be able to pay for anything else, you
Right.
know?
And talk about some of the banner all-star colleges and universities. Like, what were the big ones this year? What were the highlights that some of the graduates got into?
We actually
So
had
many, yes.
such a good year. We had 3 Notre Dame. No, 4. 3 or 4. 4
Four
accepted,
was-
3
yes.
attended.
I know
Notre
you
Dame.
had 2 definitely because we had Christina Mulia here, and we also
okay.
had Matt Acosta here. So
Yes.
those 2 are going.
Yes.
So we had both of them interviewed on the show.
So that was super, super exciting for us. We had all of our is always big for us.
University of
Binghamton,
Maryland.
I'm trying to think of all of them.
All the big names,
yeah.
but all the big names. The kids are going to all
UConn.
Yes.
UConn. Kids, so they're going to all the best colleges in the nation. And then bring this full circle before I ask you guys if you have anything else you want to add. Talk about what happens when the kids come back, right? Because I know there's always those days or times, or like you said, at a party or at an event, somehow, some way, you touch the lives of these students. You're going to see them again. What do they say to you either while they're in college and they see you, or when they've graduated, they're in their career? What do they say to you guys about their experience at St. Joe's?
Oh, they love it. They're always excited to come back. I'm always so surprised how many actually do return on those
You're like,
alumni
why are you coming
days.
back?
Yeah. But I will say this. 2 of the biggest things that they always say that I don't know if you agree with me, we miss it here so much.
Yes.
And college is so easy.
Yes.
Right.
College is so easy. They're like, wow, it's like a joke.
They
like
did all the
feel
prep
that
at sea.
this school has prepared them so academically that college is a breeze. Even the more academic, higher end schools, they're like, yeah, I actually, one of the kids came back and he's, yeah, I actually took an extra class because
I just wanted to.
I just wanted to. I was like, oh, great. That's
Says
awesome.
no one ever. Right. In real life, that never
But
happens.
he's like, yeah, no, I was really doing well in my class. I just added another one. Okay, cool. Good to know.
Nice. Any experiences on your end that you've seen or heard kids come back or students come back and say something that stuck out in your mind about how C prepared them?
Nothing specific, but it's really just the same experiences.
Yeah.
They're always like knocking on the door. Are you there, Mrs. Prospero, Miss Petrozelli? We want to
Yeah.
talk to you. And then they tell us about their college experience. It's always coming to visit when they're on a break, which
Right.
is great because you could be home after being a semester at school
Yes.
and
Right.
you're coming and taking your time to visit C. So I think that says a lot.
Absolutely. I feel like on Thanksgiving break, how many kids do we have showing up?
Yes.
It's like
They all
they're
come back.
filling the hallways. So
They all
that's,
wanna say.
that makes us feel good
Yeah.
too. I know they're not only coming back to see us; they're coming back to see
You could say that they
everyone,
are.
yeah.
It's fine. Take credit for it.
No,
They're only
they-
coming to see
they-
you.
But they
They-
want to come
yes.
back. Like
Right.
they want to see their
See the
teachers. They
teachers,
want
the
to see.
deans.
Yeah, absolutely. They really look forward to it. So that's again a testament to our school.
And something not really in your lane, but something I'm just going to ask you because it's something that recent that happened, and we've asked this on every episode. So always upgrading, always making things better, always engineering an environment for success. This is what C is built upon, right? You came back in, it's September, whatever it is today, over the summer, more renovations. So just talk about a little, and I don't want to talk about how beautiful it looks, but talk about how it seems that no matter what the need is, it's always met, and how the environment is conducive for these kids to do anything they can because of the leadership of Father Riley and the faculty and everybody over there.
Oh, absolutely. There's so many examples. Even just for us, we researched this new innovative college and career readiness platform
Okay.
that we introduced to the parents and the students this week. We went to Father and asked him about it, showed him our research, said this was going to be beneficial to the students, and there was no question.
So tell us about the new system.
So it's called School Links. It's
Okay.
going to be replacing Naviance. It's a college and career readiness platform that the students are going to use to research their colleges, careers, majors, scholarships.
Very cool.
It's a great website. We're so excited for the students to start using it this year and get the ground running on it.
And now, is that something exclusive to C, or is that something that other high schools are using, or we're not sure?
We
It's okay to not
are,
be sure.
I believe, the only school on the island that is using it. So
Cool.
it's not exclusive to us across the
Right.
country,
No,
but
of course
we're
not.
the only school on Staten Island that's using it.
Another first for C.
Yes. Father Riley.
Full of firsts.
Listen, anytime I've been there, this is my 13th, our 13th year. Just from me observing how things work, anytime I've seen Father in terms of something that would be better for the school, he acts so quickly and he just puts it into play. Like he sees a need and he's like, do it, let's go. He doesn't want to delay. We are having great enrollment numbers, which is something to be super proud of. And it's getting a little tight physically.
Right.
The hallways are tight. The cafeteria was tight. The classrooms, built 2 brand new classrooms. Beautiful.
Atrium outside to eat lunch.
He's expanding the cafeteria. We already have such a beautiful facility.
And all over a summer, right? It always gets done over the
Yes.
summer.
That's what I'm saying. The Bloomberg, I don't even want to
Classroom, yeah.
classroom. He built that in what, 3 weeks?
And last year was WSJS. That was built in like a month. Wild.
Even the
Beautiful.
need for parking. The
Yes.
parking lot in the front is beautiful.
Good point. Good point. Yeah.
It was great. And
But I
that was
feel
done
like
over the summer.
he does that, and he still maintains the lowest tuition out there.
Right.
So
Which is interesting.
the money's there for the development, let's just say. So he makes sure that money's going back into our school.
Exactly, to benefit the students.
So before we close, is there anything that you think would be beneficial for either students who may be interested in St. Joe's, parents who are just watching or listening of students, or of interested students should know about St. Joe's? Because you guys are both moms yourselves, so we could talk
I am.
about. So what are some of the things or the key takeaways that you would say to someone interested in St. Joe's that doesn't know much about them?
Because, like you just said, we are both moms. I have 2 kids. My son is 12, so he's starting the search now.
Coolest kid in Staten Island, by the way.
He's going to be a Viking anyway. So
There you go.
Whatever. But no, in all seriousness, I think that go into it with an open mind. I feel like there's a lot of chirping that goes on, and people like to over dramatize things at certain points. Go to the open houses and see it for yourself. Really experience it and think about what would be the best spot for my child.
Right.
Like I said, go to the open houses, experience it, look around, see. And just, I'm speaking about our school in general, but
Right.
I just feel like there's so many different things that any kid could really be successful when you look around. But again, you have to find the right fit for your kid.
Right.
And that, I do truly believe that. But I just feel like make your own decisions and don't listen to
Where all your friends are going.
where all your friends are going or what other people say or,
Right.
oh, 10 years ago, things change from year to year. So I think just really my best piece of advice is to go in with an open mind and make your decision for yourself.
Good. What do you think?
I love working there. So I think that's just a testament to when people ask me, how is it there?
Right.
If I love working there and I love going there every day,
Right.
then I think that says a lot. And over the last 13 years, or starting my 13th year, we worked with so many students. I've had no bad experiences. Everyone's been wonderful. I've gotten to watch the evolution of the school being built up and things changing. And I really think that it's a great place. I think Alexis had mentioned before, there's so many different things the students can get involved in. It's not just athletics. We have so many clubs, so many activities. And I think it's really a place that any student with any interest can really find a home.
Agreed. And I think it's funny you said the sports thing, because we had Bruno on, right? Rich Bruno was with us, the AD, and he was going on and on about all of the championships and all of the banners that have been won within the last 2 years. And I said, it's funny because you never really hear about that. Like, it's always C is so difficult. C is
Right.
academically excruciating. C,
Well, that's why
but
I mentioned
they're
it before.
perfect.
Yeah.
But the idea of that, it's like a perfect student, right? The full high school experience. We have
well-rounded
student athletes,
student.
well-rounded student athletes who are winning championships at high levels of sports, and also getting college credits and utilizing programs like you guys have put in place for them to go to best colleges and universities in the country.
Our hallways are not empty when school ends.
Right.
It is filled. The kids don't want to go home. They want to stay. They want to be involved. It's really so great to see.
Perfect. I want to thank you guys for being here. We want to encourage everybody who is watching or listening to subscribe to the podcast and like our channel on YouTube. Also go to josephc.org if you want any more information about anything else going on at C. And for now, I guess that's it. And we'll see you later. I'm Anthony Rapp.
See you later.
See you later.